It is indeed a very glorious day for Deltarune and Silksong fans. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Backlogs channel, and today we're going to be talking more about some in-depth direct things. It's been a couple days to digest and understand all the information that happened in the Switch 2 Direct, and now I'm ready to talk about it all. If you haven't seen my other two videos where I did a full complete analysis of the Switch 2 Direct itself, go check that one out. And I also talked about the pricing issue that people are having, and if you have any misconceptions about any prices or questions, I advise you go to that other video. I talk all about it. I try to squash any rumors that there might be about $90 games and different prices for different versions of games and all that sort of stuff. But for this video, I want to talk about Silksong and Deltarune finally both being announced in their own ways, one more than the other. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, throughout the Direct, there was a lot of third parties that were being shown off within the first sizzle reel, including Elden Ring and Tony Hawk Pro Skater and all that type of stuff. But then they took a break, and then they started talking about the new Zelda Hyrule Warriors game. I think it's called Age of Imprisonment, if I can remember correctly. And they also, right after that, started showing off some more third parties. I think they just wanted to take a little break from it, get a little switch up, see a little from the actual Nintendo developers and take a break from the third parties. And right after, they moved straight back into third parties, and the very first game that started off the sizzle reel was Deltarune, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if you know me, I absolutely love Undertale and absolutely love Deltarune, and I have been waiting for a long time for chapters 3 and 4 to get announced, and it finally got announced. It got a full trailer, and it started off the third-party announcements, the second round go. They understood the assignment, they understood how important it was to the people, and it was definitely treated as such. For such a small indie developing company and game itself, it really was one of the most hype moments. I can say that for myself. One of the most hype moments in the console itself. I just, probably the only thing that beat it was GameCube. Next, after a few actual full trailer reveals of third-party games that will be coming to the Switch at some point, a lot of them being launch day actually, they had a little sizzle reel of all the games they talked about and some others they didn't talk about, and one of those games just happened to be Silksong. Now, if you don't know what Silksong is, you've been living under a rock, but there is a small indie company that created Hollow Knight. And Hollow Knight is one of those games that has a huge cult following behind it. The people that love Hollow Knight, and they will defend it with anything they possibly can, and they will praise it until the next game comes and supersedes it. And that game is known as Silksong. And this Silksong game, a direct sequel from what I can understand of Hollow Knight, has been rumored and revealed and canceled and then re-revealed and re-teased multiple times, but it has been absolutely multiple years since the last time this game got revealed, and people were starting to lose hope that it even existed and had full faith that it was going to be shown off in some sort of capacity in this Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and they were finally correct with their assumptions. Within the sizzle reel, they showed off a real quick gameplay of Silksong, and even for the first time ever gave a confirmation date that the game was still coming out. Now, I'm surprised Team Cherry was willing to do this much after such a dormant few years of absolutely nothing and feeding off scraps of pictures of cakes and reverse searching them and finding clues and all that stuff just for a second game because they are that desperate for any type of news on it, just for it to drop and a Switch 2 Direct like it's absolutely nothing. And I mean, I'm not the biggest Hollow Knight fan. I played a little bit of it, but I didn't really get into it. I'm sure I will one day, but just today's not the day. This time frame is not the time. Maybe if it comes to Switch 2, we'll see. But anyways, Silksong is a varied game. It's just, it is such a big news whenever this game is shown off in any capacity at this point. And although I'm not the biggest fan of the game itself, I can recognize when a game that has been teased and kind of almost, you know, in your mind canceled because it's been so long since the last reveal and show off and trailer and all that stuff of it, then you start to think, man, there's no way. But then when that game finally gets released, or not released, gets shown off in any capacity, then it's a very rejoiceful day to know that at least the game is still being worked on and the development cycle has not stopped. And the game looked pretty good. It looked pretty fleshed out from the few seconds that we saw, so I felt the exact same feeling when Metroid Prime 4 took about 7-8 years to finally come out, and it isn't out to this day. It's coming out for the Switch, cross-gen style, and yeah, I feel your pain, Hollow Knight fans, and I rejoice with you, not because I care about the game, but because I care that you guys are finally getting exactly what you've been pleading for. And with that, thank you everybody so much for watching. I'm excited to play Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. They're only coming out about 2 to 3 weeks after the Switch 2 launches on June 5th. I'm pretty sure they come out June 17th, so that would be exactly 12 days. That's actually less than 2 weeks. Editor note, just wanted to come in here real quick. As I was editing this video, I heard a mistake. It's not actually coming out June 17th, 2 weeks after the console is coming out. It's actually coming out on launch day, and you best believe I'm gonna be playing it on launch day. That's all I had to say. Back to the video. I will definitely be playing those games, working myself through them pretty fast with that Switch 2 hype still on the rise, and it will still be simmering like a hot stove by the time those games come out, so I'll definitely be speeding through those. And with all that being said, I'm excited for Deltarune, I am excited for the fans of Silksong, and that's about it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. See you in the next Backlogs video. Bye bye.